I missed the first Monster Train when it initially pulled into the station on Switch. Not for any particular reason, mind you, it just passed me by. But maybe that was for the best, because diving into Monster Train 2 with fresh eyes has been a ride that I won't forget. This game knows exactly what it is, a strategic, deck-building roguelike where every battle is a puzzle and every mistake is a lesson in disguise. It's a game that slowly unravels the longer you play, making you realize it wants you to do something that most games in the genre actively discourage. It wants you to stack the deck. What's it like? Have your ticket ready, shuffle the deck, and all aboard as we review Monster Train 2 for Nintendo Switch. At its heart, Monster Train 2 is a game about control. You're not just placing cards, you're trying to think 2 steps ahead while defending your train's pyre from the legions of heaven, and every battle plays out across 3 vertical lanes. Enemies climb up floor by floor, and when they reach the top and dwindle your pyre's health, it's over. Victory means planning ahead, thinking in layers, and building an army that can hold the line at every stage of the climb. The early hours of the game almost feel gentle despite not having a successful run. You'll deploy units, upgrade the old one here and there, and try to piece together a working strategy. The deeper you go, the more you realize that there's room for some truly wild builds. It's a bit like Vampire Survivors in that way. It looks straightforward on the surface, but if you understand the systems, you can bend them into all sorts of rewarding directions. My first successful run came in at around the 7-hour mark. I managed to build a deck around a hero that buffed monsters behind her, and by the final battle, they were hitting like an unrelenting force. It felt broken, but in the best possible way. Monster Train 2 doesn't punish you for figuring out how to stack the deck, it actively encourages it. Part of the challenge is how far you can push the numbers and how cleverly you can set up your defenses. It's not just one build or one strategy. Each run seems to unlock something new, from fresh units to entirely new factions, and after around 20 hours, I was still discovering systems that I hadn't seen before. But don't make the mistake that this is going to be an easy ride. The game respects careful playing and punishes reckless placement. If you're not paying attention, your enemies will slip past you and derail your run. There's a story that also unravels the more runs you do, and you don't even have to have a successful run to see it, as even failed runs move your progression forward, which help you unlock more story and additional bonuses that will help you on your next try. The character art in Monster Train 2 is gorgeous. Hand-painted illustrations are brought to life through subtle rigging and animation, almost like 3D models made from brushstrokes. Each unit feels distinct with its own personality and presence, but there's also real visual conformity within each faction. It's a clear and confident art direction, and it helps you quickly read the battlefield once you get familiar with your army. I played in a mix of handheld and docked mode, and it looks stunning either way. On the Switch OLED screen, the colours really popped and the UI remains crisp, and on the big screen, the visual detail really comes to life. It's genuinely beautiful in motion, and of all the factions I've used so far, I just keep gravitating back to the starting ones. Maybe there's a little bit of comfort and muscle memory there, but there's just something really satisfying about how readable and well designed those early units are. Still, I am itching to try something new now that I've got a handle on how far you can push the game. The overall gothic fantasy tone features corrupted angels, twisted monsters, and glowing relics, and it all serves the atmosphere without ever feeling cluttered. Monster Train 2 is a stunning game, but unfortunately, it's not a very stable one, at least on the Switch. I did encounter one major visual glitch that almost derailed an otherwise flawless experience. For some reason, on every 5th or 6th run, the game would have artifacting that would splash mesh and polygons on the screen and just make a mess of things. I had to go back to the home screen and restart the game. Thankfully, it does save on the battle that you commence, so I did only lose a few minutes of gameplay, and it's really the only blemish I could find on this near flawless game. The soundtrack channels heavy metal energy with distorted guitar riffs that charge into your ears like the train you're riding. It gave me real Doom vibes at times, that same sense of impending battle, and it fits the dark gothic theme perfectly. The game even tells you which track is playing on each level, which I actually appreciated more than I expected. There are a lot of good tracks, but the boss fights in particular seem to hit a little bit harder, both sonically and emotionally. The music actually really lifts the stakes without drowning out the strategy. And the sound effects are a little bit more understated, but still very effective. There's a satisfying metallic clang when swords hit armor, or monsters let out audible gasps when they take damage. It's not overly flashy, but it does the job, and the overall mix keeps the focus on gameplay while reinforcing your actions. For my commanders looking into accessibility options, I'm pleased to report that there are colorblind options to help with visual acuity. But aside from that, there aren't many other accessibility options. As always, I recommend further research into finding out whether Monster Train 2 suits your needs. I did also find it surprisingly strange that the game doesn't support touchscreen despite being perfect for it. Here's hoping that we see it added in a future game update. At $40 Australian, Monster Train 2 is fantastic value for a game that's just so replayable. Just when you think you have something mastered, the game offers up a new faction or unit and it really mixes up your strategy. It can be relentless and unforgiving, but it can also get you to think outside the box, and provided you get a few helpful cards, you can absolutely dominate your run. It will make you obsess, beckoning you late into the night for just one more run, and it unravels the more you understand it. Not all runs and strategies will work out, and even when faced with defeat, it's not a frustration but a lesson learned. It's an enjoyable and challenging deck building game that will have you yearning for more. Now, if you'll excuse me, my train's about to pull out of the station. So, what's it like? Monster Train 2 is like Hearthstone crossed with Balatro. I award it 90 out of 100, securing Monster Train 2 as a What's It Like certified exceptional game. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you liked it, the best way you can support What's It Like is by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. For more reviews, click on the thumbnails to the right, and for everything Nintendo, check out whatsitlike.com.au.